Greetings Lasallians and welcome to this Thursday with Lasalle. Let me begin with a quick recap of what we covered in the last 2 weeks. The first week we spoke about having faith in God, in ourselves and in others, about finding purpose and joy in all that we do. The second week gave us an opportunity to share the various ways in which we were all moved by this pandemic, and we explored creative ways in which we could be of service to those in need. Being of service to those in need. Very often, or more often than not, we tend to look at external communities to be of service to. However, this session here today focuses on our personal network, on our personal community. To those who live alone, it could be the people whom you're connected to on these various media platforms. For others, it is the people whom we live with. Your parents, siblings, housemates, roommates, people whom you share your living space with, your religious brothers and sisters. How have we been of service to them? Interestingly enough, some participants brought this up last week. With that, I'm assured that we are practicing random acts of kindness to the people we live with. But it's not so easy, is it? And I think that's because a couple of things come into play. Before we get to that, if I could ask you to close your eyes. Come on, close your eyes. I may be just a video recording, but I do hope that you will please indulge my request. Thank you. With your eyes closed, think about the people whom you live with. What's the first thought or feeling that comes over you? Hold on to that thought, hold on to that feeling. Now take a look. Yes, open your eyes, please. Would this picture roughly represent that feeling or that thought? Or would the second picture be more accurate? Or maybe some of us are somewhere in between. We could have started off with a smile, and after 14 days, that smile could have turned upside down. And after 60 days of being in lockdown, in quarantine, or in a circuit breaker, we may not have hair left to pull. Now, some of these hair pulling situations could be nagging parents or spouses, annoying siblings, needy kids, or even housemates that just can't seem to take the trash out. On the other hand, we could be enjoying conversations at meal times with our family members, playing games, exchanging playful banter, sharing chores. Well, all of us live in different realities. We've all been affected differently by this pandemic. A loss of income, loss of freedom, loss of privacy, even a loss of time for those who now have so much more on their plate. And the weight of these losses vary according to, for example, the number of people in your household. A nuclear family with parents and kids, extended family where you've got 3 or 4 generations living together, grandparents with their grandkids, single parent families, couples with no kids, step families, and even mixed families. I use the term mixed families to represent our religious brothers and sisters who come from different families but yet live together. All these family types have got their own ways of relating to each other. Different family dynamics have been formed over the years. Some have established healthy patterns, some may be unhealthy. If I may share with you a little of my experience with family types and family dynamics. In my 43 and a half years of being alive, I've experienced life in, I think, 3 types of family situations. I was born in a nuclear family. I grew up in a nuclear family with 2 brothers, an older one and a younger brother. And we had our own ways of resolving conflict. addressing issues. There was a lot of talking that went on at meal times, before we went to bed, and so on. But that kind of changed when there were extended family members that lived with us. The way we communicated, the way we considered things were different, as we now had another person to assign chores to, another person that would affect how we made our decisions. Now, my current situation is a blend of two family types. I'm a single parent, and I've been a single parent for 12 years, and I've had my parents live with me. 9 months ago, my mom passed on. Now it's my dad and my 2 children. So we're still an extended family situation. And we've established patterns of communication, of finding ways to relate to each other respectfully. Now, my daughter is 12 years old, my son is 16 and is wheelchair bound. So all of us here with different physical and emotional needs, finding ways to live together harmoniously. That's our objective, of course. And I'm happy to report that so far nobody has tried to run away. The point is that every family structure, every family dynamic is unique, just as we are all unique individuals. But these family dynamics affect the atmosphere in which we live in. It affects how we could be of service to each other. That plays a part, right? It could make it easy, or it could make it even more difficult. So if I think about the family I'm with, the family I live with, let's think about the relationships that we have with them, right? Think about the relationships, the ways in which we are connected to our family members. If I would like to be of service to them, would maybe making an effort to connect with them, to develop a better relationship with them, be an act of service? Or could it be that I can work on building or enhancing an already healthy relationship? A relationship that promotes trust, support, shared responsibility, where everyone is comfortable with being themselves. These relationships that we have with each other could certainly come under fire, especially in times when we are all stuck together under one roof. Which brings me to talk about the struggles that we may encounter living with people. I've been on my own all this while, and now I have my family back, my kids are back. We have to share our space, we have to share the TV, we have to do extra chores because there's more laundry to be done, and we've got kids calling after us. We've got various struggles, right? As a person who lives alone, some of my friends have shared with me some of their struggles. Loneliness, not being able to share impromptu moments with someone, being stuck with doing all the chores all by yourself. And even some who experience a lack of courage in wanting or being able to reach out to people just to have a simple conversation. These are challenges, and they become, I think, magnified in such a situation where we are all have got no choice but to stay home together. And these are the people who have different personalities, they've got different habits and different ways of doing things. So my dear friends, the bigger question for us here today is, what has been my Lasallian response to these challenges? What has been my Lasallian response to all these challenges with the people whom I live with, or the challenges of being alone? Have we been able to put up with the faults of others and be generous towards them? Have we been warm-hearted to everyone, speaking to others in a gentle and respectful way? These were the words of our founder, John Baptist de La Salle, to his brothers. And these are thoughts for us to ponder upon as we address 2 questions in our discussion groups. What are my struggles with those I live with or with living alone? And what has been my response to these challenges? I do hope that you would spend a little bit more time on the second part, being your response. This video will resume once we're done with our sharing.